Welcome back to part 2 of the final review for geometry. Here we're trying to find the distance. To find the distance between 2 points, you'll use the distance formula. So you can label your points x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Substitute into the distance formula. X sub 2, in this case negative 7, minus a negative 10 squared, and then y sub 2, negative 7 minus negative 6. Negative 6 minus a negative 8. Subtract those, you get positive 3 squared plus positive 2 squared. 3 squared is 9, 2 squared is 4, so we get the square root of 13. If we go to our calculator, we can get a decimal approximation of 3.6. So either one of these answers is fine. Here we've got an external angle for the triangle. So you've got this triangle here, you've got one side extended, and that external angle is 10x minus 17. Now we've got vertical angles here. Vertical angles are congruent, so that's a right triangle. So if we can set the external angle equal to the sum of the two remote interiors, so 90 plus 2x minus 3. If we combine like terms on the right side, the 90 plus negative 3 is 87. And then we've got variables on both sides. We'll subtract 2x from each side. And we'll add 17. And we'll divide by 8. So we get 13. We found x. That was our goal. So we're done with that problem. To find the surface area of a three-dimensional figure, you're going to add up all the areas of each surface. So we've got the top and the bottom that are these rectangles, and they're congruent. They're the same type of rectangle. 16 by 5 rectangle. So we can say 16 times 5 times 2 because there's 2 of them. And then we can look at the right side. So this right side is 5 by 11. These are 11. And so there's 2 of them. The left side will be the same type of rectangle, 5 by 11. And then we also have the front and the back. And so this front rectangle is 16 by 11, and same with the back one. So we got 2 of those 16 by 11s. So 16 times 5 is 80, double that, 160. 5 times 11 is 550, double that, and you get 110. And then 16 times 11 is 176, and then you double that, you get 352. And then add all of those together, and you get 622. Surface area, so units are squared, centimeters squared. Volume of a rectangular prism, length times width times height. So we can, and it doesn't matter which one is which, you just have three dimensions that you're multiplying together. So we have 11 centimeters times 16 centimeters times 5 centimeters. So you get 880 centimeters cubed. Volume in general, the units are cubed to the third power. Again, it was because it was centimeters times centimeters times centimeters, so that's centimeters cubed. Here we've got a tangent segment. Tangent segment squared is equal to the external times the full. So x minus 4 plus 10, that's x plus 6. External times the full. So on the right hand side we've got a binomial times a binomial. So we can follow that first times first, x times x, x squared. Or you could say distribute twice. X times 6 is 6x. And then negative 4 times x, negative 4x, and negative 4 times 6, negative 24. Now we'll combine our like terms. 6x minus 4x is 2x. We've got x squared terms on each side, so let's subtract x squared from each side. And so we get 0 equal to 2x minus 24. That's a linear equation. And so we'll get our x's on one side and our constants will move to the other side. So add 24 to each side to get 24 equals 2x. And then divide by 2. And so x is 12. Our goal is to find x. We did that. Here we've got an inscribed angle. Inscribed angles are equal to half of the intercepted arc. Half of 102 is 51. From here it's a two-step equation. To get rid of minus 1, we'll add 1 and get 52. And then to get rid of multiplying by 13, divide by 13. And so x is 4. Our goal is to find x. We found it. Our reflection across the y-axis will change the x-coordinate, the sign on the x-coordinate. So instead of it being negative 3, 5, it'll be 3, 5. The y-coordinate stays the same. Five halves is the same as 2.5. For a dilation, we just multiply each coordinate by that value. So we'll take the negative 6 and multiply it by 2.5, and then we'll take the 4 and multiply that by 2.5. So this is for the dilation part. So negative 6 times 2.5 is negative 15, and then 4 times 2.5 is 10. So we dilated it. Next it says that it's translated along the rule, add 7 to the x value and subtract 5 from the y value. So we'll do negative 15 plus 7 and then 10 minus 5. So that gives us negative 8 and positive 5 for that composition of functions. 22, we've got a 45, 90, so this is 45 as well. 45, 45, 90 triangle. For 45, 45, 90, the hypotenuse is equal to the leg length times root 2. Just have that memorized. So that's square root of 20. 20 is a perfect square factor of 4. Square root of 4 is 2, and so we get 2 square root 5 for the hypotenuse there. Here we got a 60-degree angle and 90-degree angle, so this angle is 30. So the x is the short leg. Short leg times root 3 is the long leg. To solve for x, divide both sides by the square root of 3. On the right hand side, we'll rationalize that denominator. Multiply the top and the bottom by root 3. So we get 30 root 3 over 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10. So we get 10 root 3. For a parallelogram, adjacent angles are supplementary. So we can say 5x plus 11, that angle plus 124 equals 180. If you forgot that, you could get there by knowing what a parallelogram is. Opposite sides are parallel, so we've got these two parallel lines cut by transversal, so these same side or consecutive interior are supplementary. 11 plus 124 is 135. We'll subtract 135 from each side. And so we get 5x equals 45. Divide both sides by 5. And so x is 9. Here we've got two similar triangles. So corresponding sides are proportional. So we can say from the small triangle 3x minus 7 over is to 70 as 3x plus 1 is to 80. And there's lots of different proportions you could write, but once we cross multiply, our cross product should be the same. Alright, and then we've got variables on both sides, so let's get the variables on one side. Subtract 210x from each side. You get 30x minus 560 equals 70. Let's get the constants together, so let's add 560 to each side. And so we get 630 equal to 30x. To get rid of multiplying by 30, divide by 30. And we get 21. So x is 21, but our goal here is to find mt. So mt is 3 times x, which is 21, plus 1. So that's 63 plus 1, 64 for the value of mt. Here we've got similar triangles. PK is what we're looking for. So PK, that's first and third, is to WK. That's 54. As AK is to NK. From here we can cross multiply. So we get 45x equals 3,375. To get rid of multiplying by 45, divide by 45. And so we get x equal to 75. X was the value from, or the distance from P to K. So now we can rewrite it as PK equals 75.